And I understand that you would like to ask questions. Don't be too harsh on me. You can ask any question you like. Okay. Yes?
Thank you very much, young Mohamad, to Dr. Mahathir. Congratulations on a fantastic victory. We are all very, very supportive and very, very excited about it. My name is Chua Yao Han. I'm a Malaysian who came to Japan in 1978. How are you going to actively engage the international financial community on the sovereign credit rating front and on the bond markets and on the bond market with the bond market? How are you going to actively engage the international finance community for the sake of the country?
Thank you. Well, I should have thought that knowing what we are doing is for the good of the country, to reduce our debts, for example, to recover the economy, the financial health of the country. This in itself should persuade foreign investors to come to Malaysia. But unfortunately, they respond to immediate results. Of course, in immediate result, for example, we have to announce that we have a big debt, and they react to that by pulling out their money. It doesn't help. You see, we are trying to reduce the debts and rehabilitate the country. But if you announce bad news, they will take their money out. This is the problem that we face. We would depend on people like you to tell people that what we are doing now is to rehabilitate the country. It will be good for business. But if you pull out your funds, it will be much more difficult for us to rehabilitate the country. We are doing our best. Okay.
Hello to Dr. Mahathir. Congratulations for the great victory. We are very, very proud of you. I'm Sojen from Sarawak, Malaysia. I have two questions. Currently, I'm working as a solar engineer in Japan. We came here in Tokyo last year, September, so around 8 months already. But before that, I was in Malaysia working for many years in the renewable energy industry. My first question is, our renewable energy policy, the scheme that was implemented earlier by the previous Prime Minister, I find it was very untransparent. Is the government will review the current policy, especially to continue the renewable energy, and make it to be transparent and helping the startup companies. When the policy was implemented, a lot of Malaysian companies venture into the business, but the permit is not transparent, and this only benefited other countries. We felt very, very disappointed, especially to the young generation. My second question, I am from Sarawak. And we understand that the investigation of the former Prime Minister, will this also investigation further to Sarawak, where we felt that we had been under corruption of so many years under the same government and without any improvement?
We have promised to investigate all corruption in the country, irrespective of which state or whoever the person may be. We will carry out our investigation, and if we find evidence, we will carry out what is the legal thing to do. That we will do. On the other thing about renewable energy policy, yes, we are all for renewable energy policy. We will reduce all the bureaucratic procedures as much as possible. Of course, there is a little need to control all development in the country, but we will minimize all development so that people can do business much more easily. No delays in giving permits. If there is a delay, we will take action against the people who delayed the permit. I remember when I became Prime Minister in 1981, Kuala Lumpur was flat, no high-rise building. And when I asked them why, they told me that it's difficult to get City Hall to approve permits for high-rise building. But after I changed the Lord Mayor and told the new Lord Mayor, who just died recently, that I need to have the approval within 2 weeks, or else he has to explain to prove to me why he couldn't approve. He couldn't approve the permit, and that resulted in high-rise building growing like mushrooms in Kuala Lumpur and the rest of the country.
Asking you a question, I think is too much. I'm here to suggest.
Sir, please take your question.
Yes. I hope somebody from the Prime Minister office, somebody close to doing, will take note of this. It is called Furusato Nose.
What's that?
It means paying tax to your hometown or home country. This has been a system in Japan allowing recovery of the space. If we can have agreement with countries, say, if when you speak with the Prime Minister of Japan, asking for his permission to allow Malaysians to pay tax back to Malaysia.
Thank you. I would like to know more about this, to see whether we can apply this in Malaysia. Thank you.
Brian, thank you for taking my question. Actually, I'm a lawyer from Malaysia, last time from Zaid Ibrahim. And I'm now a partner in an international law firm in Singapore. And I used to be here from 2001 to 2008, and I attended many delegations by Tan Sri Rafida and also Dato Sri Mustafa Mohamad, and encouraging investment from Japan to Malaysia. I work in the oil and gas industry as a lawyer. So my question is, also having worked for KPMG, it's one thing to address the bleeding from all these posts of corruption that was happening under the previous government, but how do you propose to encourage more foreign investment into Malaysia? For example, there's no post of international trade minister or even domestic trade minister. So I'm really concerned about Malaysia. I'm from Johor Bahru. And you're right that many land sales are unproductive because there's a lot of land sale going in JB, my hometown, selling to China. And it's not really increasing the technology.
Okay, so thank you. Thank you.
Well, as you know, we have not yet completed forming our new cabinet. We have only started with a core cabinet of 13 people, but that does not include international trade. There is no Ministry of International Trade. But if you think that is very important, we will consider whether we will create this ministry or not. So I would like to thank you for your suggestion.